guys, welcome to the house of Valentina. I'm Valentina, and this is my husband Jack. And today we wanted to share with you, there's a blower going.
There's always a blower going.
Okay, so we've had this video recorded actually twice, and we've just had like this comedy of errors in making it.
We live in the noisiest neighborhood on the planet, the most active. So last week when we tried to film this, we had airplanes, we had animals, we had children, we had a delivery truck with like subwoofers in the back of it.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about the Amazon guy.
We drove up and down our street 9 times.
Yeah.
So.
And Santa Claus went down the street
Christmas.
in a Jeep.
Yeah.
So
Merry
Drive by
Christmas.
Santa has a whole new meaning this year.
So needless to say, we could get no audio from it. It was a comedy of errors, but it was a lot of fun. So
we decided that we would just go ahead and do it indoors. And we thought it'd be really fun to share with you not just the porch itself, but a little bit of the process on how we came up with our design and why we did it the way we did. And that way maybe it will help you as you think about your own exterior, as you think about your own exterior. I can't say that word. It's her.
Pause and I'll say it. Go ahead. Try it.
So as you think about your own
exterior. It worked. I can nail that one. Can't say anything else, but.
As you guys think about your exterior of your home, we want to be able to empower you to be able to create something that feels very beautiful, something that feels really elevated, and really just making your home really shine.
All right, before we dive in, make sure you hit subscribe because we have a ton of new content coming out now between now and the holidays, and then we're already working on stuff for 2021, and you're gonna wanna make sure you know about it.
Yes, and let's jump in.
Yeah.
Our tip number 1 is to really think about your home style. So as we were thinking about our own, we looked at, a lot of the other houses on our street. We thought about what style we really have. There's so many different styles out there. You could have everything from a farmhouse to a colonial. There's really modern, contemporary. We could go on all day. There's all different styles of home. And when you want to make your exterior really shine, the best way to do that is think about what you're working with. Now, I know you can adjust what you have, and that is possible. We do that a lot because we run a design business and we do a lot of renovations, but you really have to think about what you have and what you're working with. So if you aren't making massive changes, own the colors that you have, own the style that you have, and really try to adapt that style to what it is that you really want in your home.
I like how you told me that we had chateau style because I didn't really know that. And it's kind of the style of the home naturally. And so instead of playing against it or trying to work against it, you just owned it. But you're like, I remember you telling me, you're like, I want a modern twist on it. Mm-hmm. And so that very much laid the groundwork for everything that we've done both inside and outside, is owning and just making sure that what we do outside matches with the actual house.
Yes, and ideally it will match what you're doing inside as well, but that is for a different day. A lot of times when you have a front exterior, it's not somewhere that a lot of us think about sitting and really enjoying, and so we just kind of neglect those areas. But especially nowadays with everything that we're doing at home.
Yeah, the fact that this is my office, it's our school, it's our studio, it's your gym, it's everything. And one of the things I love from our travels this year, especially that I've been more just, I think, aware of, is the way that hotels will use their exterior space to really just extend the hotel, extend the footprint. And that has been mind-blowing for me.
Yeah, and so we've created for ourselves an area for us to actually sit because it's not a big space, but it's big enough that we could put 2 chairs up there. I had to work really hard to find the chairs that I've put on this porch, but oh my goodness, we love them so much and they were so affordable.
Yeah.
I think they look very high end, and now we've created a space for ourselves that we actually go out, we drink our coffee, we wave to the bustling neighborhood apparently that we live in.
Watch the deer walk by like we did earlier, or the bunnies chasing each other like we did earlier.
Or Santa.
Yeah, or Santa in a Jeep. You never know what you're gonna get.
You never know. Tip number 3 is to design your exterior for the day and the night. And this is where we really complement each other because I'm thinking about daytime and how it's gonna look when, obviously there's full daylight, and how the chairs look and how the door looks and how the plants look. But you really enjoy the nighttime.
I remember when she told me we were gonna do chateau, we're gonna do a modern chateau, the first thing I did was made a cup of coffee and then immediately pulled up and started searching for what do chateaus look like? What do the exterior look like? She was more of the master of the day, but I really wanted to know what it looked like at night. So I studied lighting. I noticed immediately they did a bunch of up lighting, and we weren't at the place where we could do that permanently. So I just bought some off Amazon and ran cables everywhere. And like 2 days later, I'm like, hey, come here, look.
I'm like, oh yay, there's cords everywhere.
Look what I gave you. I gave you a chateau at night.
It actually looks really good.
And we left it up. It's been up for over a year, and we just add the Christmas lights. And so it's been a great step for us to be able to make it look the same both inside, or both nighttime and daytime.
Perfectly segues us into one of my favorite things, which is putting out the lanterns, because I think that's a great tool that you can use for day and night, and it really just changes the way that your porch will feel. This year, if you guys watched the exterior door makeover video that we did, I bought these beautiful big lanterns. The scale of them really just makes the home feel more grand. For Christmas, I filled them up with pine cones and just some little greenery. It's just a simple way of dressing them up for the holidays and for the winter. And I like using real candles.
Yeah.
We don't expect everybody else to do that. We know that you probably would most likely do just one that has a little battery operation. I think that adding a wreath to the door is one of the best ways to add a lot of personality to your exterior. It really says a lot about who you are.
First time I saw your wreath, I was like, I gotta marry this girl.
I'm so glad, honey. But it really does. Your wreath really says a lot about who you are. It really hones your style.
Yeah.
It's a good way of sending a message to you and to your visitors about what you're all about. So for the holidays this year, I bought that beautiful white wreath. And then I was at Home Depot and they had the pine ones, which, if you've watched our other videos, this guy can't have pine
Nope, can't do it.
inside, but I thought I can put it on the front door because he comes in through the garage.
She's trying to keep me from coming home.
Or that.
I'm catching on to you.
Uh-huh.
Put pine near every one of our doors.
Yeah, imagine that. So I just dressed it up and had a little bit of fun, but I will actually be putting the white berry one that I found at Crate & Barrel back on the door for the rest of the winter because I think it's just beautiful.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love the wreaths because I think it's a year-round thing you can do, regardless of the season. It's just a welcoming feature to the front space.
I think so too. Nobody likes to talk about cleaning up. It's just one of those, I always feel so uncomfortable bringing it up. It really is important to really clean up your exterior. That's one of the things that kind of annoys me about the cords with all the holiday lights is I can't handle there being cords going across the stairs. And hopefully until I brought it up, you didn't even notice, but it annoys me. And that's why we've talked about long-term solutions of actually having the lighting done by an electrician.
Actually, yeah, by a real person, not me with my Amazon gift card.
Yes. It's a great solution if you're on a budget and you want to do it really quickly, but this idea of really cleaning up the beds, really making sure that the front is manicured and there's not shoes thrown everywhere. I mean, I know what it's like. I can always tell when I'm driving up to the house who has come to visit because their shoes are usually on the porch.
Yeah.
And so it's not that you don't want the real life, but keeping it free of debris and keeping it really manicured will definitely make your home feel more elevated, and I think it just makes it feel like it's a nice way to come home.
And it's actually more welcoming. I mean, if you go to someone's house and you have to step over 50 things, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But when you feel like, ooh, they cleaned out the space just for me, so it actually is more welcoming.
We clean up our space for Amazon deliveries.
Pretty much.
We want the Amazon man to feel
I walked
welcome.
in the garage earlier, I'm like, whoa, where'd these come from? It's like Christmas.
It is Christmas.
Well, I know, but not today.
If you do happen to have an area that you can sit in, one of my favorite things to add during the winter is a blanket.
If you had told me a few years ago before we moved overseas, put a blanket outside with your chairs, I'd be like, what?
Well, I don't think that it's necessarily a European thing. We've just always lived in the South.
Where it's hot.
Where it's hot. So winters aren't super cold. So I'm sure they do that other places. It's just that we saw it in Europe at a lot of the cafes. They always had a really nice blanket there because they want you to sit outside. They want you, unlike us who hibernate for so much of the winter and don't want to go outdoors, they think you should go out, enjoy the fresh air, just put a blanket over your laps. I found the most amazing blanket. It's one of my favorite finds. I've featured it in the video. Even in this room, I've got one in here. I love this blanket. It feels like cashmere. It's nice and warm and cozy.
Yeah.
And I did pair it with these really cute fur pillows, which I found at Target because it feels more festive and wintry than fur and faux fur, and a really beautiful blanket. So that way the space just feels really inviting. I'm more likely to sit there because I won't be freezing, and yours doesn't have a blanket because you don't usually need one. Yeah.
Nope.
Doormats are a necessary thing. You just need a doormat to really be functional. But I think it's such a great way to display your personality. And I think it's one of those times when you could have a lot more fun because only people who actually approach the house are really going to see what it is that's written on your doormat.
Or the Amazon guy.
The Amazon. I just like to have something that just makes me smile. It feels really elegant. It feels in line with who I am. But I've been very tempted to do some of the sarcastic ones or to have something in French. My favorite one from IKEA, which we actually have at one of the other doors, that says hygge, which is the word for cozy.
And I saw one yesterday with Yoda that said, welcome you are.
So you can see why he doesn't get to pick the mat.
I don't get to pick the mats.
We're going to be talking about landscaping and plants. And this is definitely one of those times when you really want to think about the style of your home again and what's going to really go with your style. So when we first moved into this house, we had just come back from Scandinavia, and they're very free form with their landscaping. They don't really weed a lot because
it only grows for about 4 days out of the year.
That's so not cold. True, but there is a certain level of truth to it that things just they don't manicure things there the way that they might do maybe in France. And when you think about places like Versailles, where everything is super trim, if you have an Italian style home, you might be having certain cypresses that are very manicured. It really depends on what you've got. So we made a couple mistakes. I wouldn't say mistakes. I would say we were on a learning curve.
We were on a learning curve because we went more like English garden whimsy and everything, and we've slowly but surely taken all of that out.
Yeah, we realized that maybe we just need to have some symmetry up at the front, and so in the spring we're probably going to be looking for a boxwood that we can plant up on the other side because we just want it to feel more streamlined and modern. And that's how you can really manipulate that front of your home. You can also manipulate that with the planters and the plants that you put on the porch as well. So,
which is what we've done.
Yeah, we really love these white planters that we put on the porch, and we had originally put some smaller trees in there, and I was like, you know what, I just really want to take that scale up, and I think it just made it feel more grand.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was so worried because the porch is so small that going that big would overwhelm it, but what it does is it just really defines it. So in the winter, we typically will put out cypresses like that and then put them out in the yard because we have a big yard to fill with plants, and then we'll just switch them out for the spring.
Yeah. This is my favorite tip because to me this really just takes everything. It's like the ribbon and the bow on the package, which is
the cherry on the top.
Yes. Details matter, and it's one of those things sometimes if you don't use it a lot you don't notice it, but by going out there we noticed, oh, the hardware needs to be changed out, so we changed out the knobs and the hardware. We painted the front door, we removed some stuff off the door that was kind of old and dated it. We've got a new light, which if it's been on order for like 17 years, it feels like.
Yeah, so one day we will have a new light when it actually arrives, and taking care of those little details takes your design over the top, which is what will always give you that more elevated feel, because it's not that you want your home to feel more expensive. It is nice when it does feel more expensive, especially if you're going to be selling it, but it's a way of really treating your house with respect and taking your design from this level to all the way up to where it really can be. And I think it will actually add to your pleasure, to the way that you really enjoy your home and your space. And it's really important, the way that you feel when you approach your home. I say that all the time to clients. I say, how do you want to feel when you are driving down the street and you pull up to your own home? When you look up and you're like, that's mine.
Yeah, that's a great feeling.
I live there. That's what we're always working towards with our clients and what we wanted for ourselves.
Yeah, as much as we talk about guests and welcoming people, at the end of the day, the number one person you're welcoming to your home is you on a daily basis.
That's
and I
so
think
true.
that's so important to give yourself a place where you feel like it's been thoughtful and it's been, just planned out, and you feel like you're taking care of yourself. It's just a way to spoil yourself, really.
Yeah, it is another level of self-care. And
Yeah.
I know that word is somewhat overused, but your home is your refuge. And especially right now with everything that's been happening in the world, this refuge is so important. And so taking care of the front will really add value to your life, and it will make you feel like this is something for me. This is my home. This is my place. And I think that's really important. So, well, I've had a lot of fun. Have you?
I know. I've always had fun.
I know. I always have fun when we get to do this. So thank you guys so much for stopping by for a visit. You guys know we always love it. I wish we could have all 80,000 come and that's so fun to think about. There's 80,000 and more of you guys that have signed up. You've subscribed. And I just think about each of you coming over and how we could sit on the porch and drink coffee together. Only one of you at a time.
We have 2 chairs, so it would take a while. Be a very long line, but we would love to do it.
We're gonna get the deck in the back ready so then more of you can come at once. But thank you so much for stopping by, and don't forget to hit subscribe. Visit us at Instagram, because we definitely give sneak peeks of all these spaces over there first.
Yeah, especially during the holidays, we're gonna be doing a ton on Instagram stories, just where we can show you favorite little recipes, favorite little things we're doing as a family, so make sure you subscribe on Instagram.
See you guys in the next one.
Bye.
You nut.
You're nut.
I know where this is going. You stop now.
Louie.
Oh,
The guard dog.
Louie.
The guard
Is he trying
dog.
to steal your hug? Oh, is he trying to steal your hug?
Oh.
You are such an angel. Are you a little teddy bear? Did Haley dress you up as a little teddy bear? You're so fuzzy, though. You're so fuzzy.
Like, I am a stuffed animal.
Yes, you
Who
are.
walks?
Did you notice that?
Setup fail.
Yeah.
Fail. Hashtag setup fail.
This is, God, that's a very serious face.
I was in thought.
Jeez.
Sorry, I can't do 2 things at the same time. I can't do facial expressions and thinking. So I'm like, powering down. Thoughts complete. Thank you. You don't have to put this on the video.
I won't be able to.
We should sit out here more.
It's just, our neighborhood is busy.
Cheaper than cable.